Do you know in all the public listed company or for investor, what is the main factor that they are looking at, especially when they want to invest in the company, in a public listed company?
I think it should be the profit and the losses.
Profit, losses, what is the future of the company, what are the forecasts of the company, how does it go? What about, do you know that there is another factor right now that most of the company or most of the public listed company has to have this factor? An investment company or investor will be looking at. This is another factor that is nothing to do with the money or profit and loss.
This one, yeah, if you want to know more,
let's
Sembang AIoT.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? My name is 𝐸𝐸.
Yeah, my name is 𝐀𝐈𝐨𝐓.
So we see you again. Yeah. Thanks for watching us today. Thank you very much for following us. And for those of you who has just joined us today, myself is 𝐸𝐸 and 𝐀𝐈𝐨𝐓. We are talking about technology stuff, in this, especially covering the AIoT and to the industry. To the industry meaning, we cover a little bit more towards the manufacturing, smart manufacturing, for that part. Yeah. So how are you today? Thank you very much for tuning in. I think our Chinese New Year has just over a few days ago. Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yesterday is 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐴.
Yeah.
The 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐴. So for those of you who are still in that mood, I wish you 恭喜发财. Okay, so today we come to a new chapter again. Last week we talked about DeepSeek. Yeah, last week we talked about DeepSeek. But before we jump into our main topic today, let's continue with what I've just asked just now. Is there any other factor that investor is looking after? Is the third factor that is nothing to do with the money? Of course, you know the answer. What is that?
Yeah, the ESG index.
Yeah. So, do you know that in this public listed company, right now there is this green index. Right now it's so-called ESG index. So this can become a very important factor that investment company or investor is looking at. Yeah. So because why is this so important? The ESG is so important. What do you think?
Because it's related to environment, the social, the government.
The social. Okay, ESG is environmental, social, and governance, of course. But then these three main factors is actually contributing to the sustainability. If I want to invest in your company, of course, I want to know whether you are sustainable. Correct? If you are not even sustainable, after putting in no matter 3 years or 5 years, then suddenly your thing go down, you close shop. So what happens? So sustainability can be a measurement index, in the whole thing especially for long-term investment. So that actually contributed by the environment, social and governance. Of course, that is a very huge topic. But today we want to talk a little bit more about the what we call the environment part, environment part where AI or IoT play a part in gathering this set of information or this set of compliances that able to take up from this kind of technology, from the technology part, this sort of information. So that is the main thing. Of course, later on we are going to do a last part. We have some demonstration on some of our IoT sensors in action, where we keep track of different set of parameter, especially for this work environment. Yeah. So stay tuned. Okay. So just now I would like to talk about this DeepSeek and things like that. Last week you mentioned about something related to of course, the advance of this DeepSeek suddenly come into the picture. They shaken the whole world, especially the US stock market, it affected their few key counters, including NVIDIA, 600 over billion or more than 100,000, no, 600 million is just evaporated, because of that. That is a key, that is it's actually a stunning thing. Yeah. So you mentioned about, last week we shared about DeepSeek, why is this happen? And then what is the fight back from ChatGPT? You mentioned about something last week.
Yeah, so they also opens, you cannot say open source, but just open how their model do the reasoning. So recently you also can see when you use the reasoning model, you also can see how the ChatGPT think in behind. And then at the same time, they also try to drag the attention to another part. So they also
created another one.
Another one is the Search GPT.
They created another new agenda, which is a Search GPT that able to leverage, and not leverage. This one is to
compete with the Google search.
To stay competitive, with this Google search, or even DeepSeek trying to come into the market. Yeah. So in DeepSeek, so far, how was the experience? Because over the weeks I have been trying DeepSeek, I'm experiencing a very slow kind of a response.
Yes, the server is always busy.
Server is always busy. That is not a very good impression, in fact. Yeah. So as you know, when you started ChatGPT two years plus ago, also almost the same happened. Almost the same thing happening. Yeah, almost the same thing happening. But then this DeepSeek seems to be not even worse. Sometimes you couldn't wait. That is not a very good impression. So I think DeepSeek should do something before they are launching this one. But according to the founder, he said he didn't expect this thing to go like that. Go until they can go within the subscriber go until don't know how many 7 billion people, something like that. During in the first 4 weeks or something. That is that is very, very, very funny. So okay, so we set this part away. If let's say we have more news on the DeepSeek, how they have improved or how they have what they call let's say they've created something to patch this part out, I think that would be great. Otherwise, sometimes when we have this comparison, you tend to use ChatGPT rather than using DeepSeek.
Yeah, actually the ChatGPT, yesterday they only announced their plans for not to release the ChatGPT 5.
I want ChatGPT 5.
Where it combines everything into a single model.
Okay. If you have any more news from there, we will talk about that in the coming session. So we will just go into this. Our main topic today is about environment. Maybe can we have one of the slides? So again, those of you who has just tuned in, this is a Jom Let's Sembang AIoT channel. We are on the episode number 86. 86, right? Yeah, we are on the 86. Already 80 over session, 86 session that we have since we started. So let's go. On this indoor air quality parameter, what is the impact and how does this technology is able to do with this set of things?
Yeah, actually, here what you see is some common indoor air quality parameters. So the most common one is the temperature, the humidity. These two we always monitor it. And then the third one, the volatile organic compound. This is something actually quite common in our daily life, but many people ignore it.
Is it something related to the what from furniture? Is it?
Yes.
From furniture.
Yes, actually something from the furniture, from the new building. Later we'll talk more detail on this part. And then the number 4 is the particulate matter. So usually during the haze, then we can see the particle.
During the haze time, we have been 2 years never faced the haze. So maybe Indonesia has improved their burning, maybe. Yeah.
Then we'll see about the PM 0.3, PM 0.5, something like that appear in the news. Then,
so 0.5 meaning the particle size.
Yeah, the particle size.
So 0.5 is the smallest. Usually we see the PM 2.5. It's very, very common, right? So, okay.
They got a lot of size. And the next one is the carbon dioxide. This one is, something very common every day. But if the concentration of the carbon dioxide become very high, it will cause toxic to our body. Then the next one is the carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide. All this thing is more related to the manufacturing.
Hydrogen sulfide is very toxic. It's very toxic.
Hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide. It's more on the chemical things.
I see. Yeah.
So it's not something common in our daily life. So now we move to the next slide. So for the volatile organic compound, so usually you can find it in the particle woods, and then some furnitures, because they contain, for the volatile organic compound, actually is referring to the organic chemical. So for example, the formaldehyde, this you can see in the furnitures. So sometimes when you buy a new house and then you put in the new furniture, we don't straight away move in. So we let it for maybe a few weeks
to settle down.
Yeah.
Okay. So that thing won't affect our this. We don't breathe it.
Yeah. We won't take too much.
But formaldehyde is let's say in old days when we study biologies, we do dissecting the rats. We put those formaldehyde solution to dip into the thing to prevent what? To prevent the thing become rotten. So that kind of chemical.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it has 𝐓 and the paint that contain the methylene. So all the paint, but I think most of the paint in the market, they also have some rules and standards to follow. So usually the content is still there, but usually they won't exceed the threshold. Right. And then the vinyl flooring that contain the acetaldehyde or the phenol. So usually it's some kind of the wood flooring.
Phenol, I think could be something to do with the alcohol range style thing.
And then the last one, but not least, is the office equipment like the printer, the inks, the photocopy, and the scanner. So actually, by itself, the device, it won't emit this kind of thing. It's the heating process that emit the volatile compound, organic compound.
Okay. So the audience may be wondering why technology, why you talk about all these all these like the household product, things like that. Of course, you continue, then you know why we are talking about this.
So we move to the next one. So how this volatile organic compound can affect our body? So it will cause damage to our kidney, our lung, and then the chronic nausea and the dizziness, and even worse, you can get a lung cancer. And some common things like the headache, eye and throat irritation, loss of focus, coordination. These are some symptoms.
That is very bad for the health.
So if you notice your staff, your worker many of them have this kind of symptom, maybe you should start monitor we call it the VOC, volatile organic compound level in the office.
Okay.
Okay, so we move to the next one. So do we really need the AI for the air quality monitoring? So this is some question. So of course, for the basic air monitoring, it's not necessary. So for example, you just monitor for your house or for a small building or a room. I think that one is not necessary. But if let's say you want to do something more advanced, so you want to find out the pattern, or you want to predict the pollution trend. So whether it will keep on going, become worse, or how, then you might need AI to do it. Or for some even large scale. So for example, the government want to find out the pollution in the city, where is the root cause, how the pattern happened. Then you might need the AI to do this thing for you, because you have too many sources, too many data from the sensor you need to monitor.
I do not know whether this one is coming from Alam Sekitar. Is it the Department of Environment, Alam Sekitar, is it? So they're supposed to be responsible for some of these things. You remember last time there is in Johor, there's one something like some toxic gas leaking from a factory, then affected the whole area in the kampong side. So that actually created a lot of this havoc. People admitted in the hospital because of they suck in this kind of toxic gas. So that's why what you were saying is how AI is able to be used in this area is predictive.
You can predict how the gas will spread. So next affected area will be where?
I see. Okay. Oh, that is very advanced thing, huh? Okay.
Okay, so we move to the next one. Okay, so what kind of AI technique available for you to use is, okay, so if you just want to do some basic forecasting, so you have some traditional way, for example, the linear regression or using the random forest, it's enough, it's good enough already. But if you want to do something more complex, some complex time series forecasting, then the LSTM or some transformer-based model can help you to do this thing. Then for the spatial pollution mapping, you want to find out the location, then you might need the CNN-based model with the satellite imagery.
Okay.
So that one is related to the
CNN meaning the convolution type,
yes,
convolution neural network, right?
Yes.
So it's more human type of AI model.
Yeah, the one that we usually use for the object detection.
Okay.
Then the last one, for the real-time anomaly detection, usually you can find some autoencoder inside or some clustering method.
Okay. So what I want to understand more is about this linear regression and random forest are those more statistical model.
Yeah.
More statistical model. And then the LSTM and transformer type is more Gen AI modeling. Gen AI with some statistical.
I haven't reached Gen AI yet.
That is not a Gen AI.
No.
That LSTM is what?
Long short-term memory.
Long short-term memory. That means it's also a time series. Can I say?
Yes.
Is it a
power
time series?
Yeah, that's why over there is
it's a time series, but more machine learning rather than Gen AI.
LSTM, this thing exists in the deep learning already.
Deep learning, or they have the deep learning. Okay. Just so these are the AI model that we think maybe this part is especially it affect the health part. I think AI will play into action. Other than that, if let's say you detect threshold or something like that for data collection or data publishing, I think that you do not need AI.
Yeah, that one.
You don't need AI. Okay. Yeah. So yes, we move forward. So okay, coming to the part where, you know, whatever that thing that you want to do, whether you want to do AI or you don't want to do AI also, you know, if you want to do some data collection, you need some equipment. Yeah, you need some equipment. So the upcoming thing that I'm going to share is more about, we are talking about some of the equipment that can be used. You know, for example, you know, on the left-hand side, you can see some temperature, humidity, one of them, you know, carbon dioxide or CO2 or carbon monoxide, you know, type of thing. And then also at the middle there, the white color one, it has a different set of a parameter that you can monitor, you know, including pressure, PM1, 2.5, 10 also is able to do, you know, plus some of other gases, you know, for example, ammonia. Just now you talked about nitrogen sulfide, you know, those are also able to detect. That is for, you know, for environment. For this case, in terms of this architecture-wise, for some of these IoT sensors to onboard some of the data to the IoT platform. For this case, we do have a setup here. At our downstairs there. So we do have a LoRa, the gateway and LoRa transceiver to handle some of these sensor data, and then it will be gathered in a LoRa gateway. From there itself, on the right-hand side, you know, these are the LoRa gateway that link to one of the 𝐬𝐸𝐷 what they call IoT gateway. So that one you can process. So up to that area, you know, do you think just now what you mentioned about this random forest or thing, is it possible to run in that small devices like what we have the 𝐬𝐸𝐷 gateway? For example, the last on the right hand side. Can this random forest be able to run?
Yeah. Random forest is not a very complex algorithm.
So it's able to do, that is more machine learning.
Yes.
It's more machine learning type. Yeah. So that can be done. You see, what we have been talking about so far, we have been promoting a lot of this kind of edge type of devices, whether edge IoT or edge AI. Yeah. So edge AI also branches into two. One of them is computer vision AI that we have been showing many times. We have been talking about that so many times. And then, so right now, actually, just 2 days ago, we have actually formulated those edge gateway. Let's say you have some related what they call application or projects that you would like to extend from that. Do contact us. We do have some device that able to gather this data, and then before publishing to the cloud. Of course, that IoT Edge Connect is a cloud platform, so-called IoT platform, IoT platform, and then you can link to different type of dashboard, you know, you want, because it has its own database. So that setup is right now already established. What it can do is, you can see here, you know, some of the sensors that you can do, you know, from PM 2.5, 1, PM1, CO2, CO, NH3, you know, the ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, HCHO and TCOC, you know, those are things that you mentioned just now, from this VOC, and also with some more toxic gas like this CH4, very alcohol type, you know, maintain kind of thing. SO2, this is what called SO2. Yeah, there's also a very sulfur dioxide. And also in the environment, you may want to look at this what kind of light. So that is illuminance, illuminance, temperature and humidity. This actually is affecting the whole environment. One thing that we didn't show here is we have done a sound level thing. Yeah, we have done a sound level. So those sound sensors also available. So let's say you have something that you want to create that kind of environment data for this ESG compliance, maybe, you can also talk to us. We see how we can come in to assist you in this part. So, okay. So, so for environment tracking, these are some of the sensors that's in place in some of the sites. Some of them is actually in Taipei, in Taipei, Taiwan. So that can be done that way. Plus, some of the energy data, power consumption data can be also tracked. So we have some power meters or power tracking device that can do all kind of collection from the energy, that can also be collected, on our IoT platform. So let's go to the most interesting part on the demonstration. How does this able to show it to you some of the real-time data here? So similar things, similar setup that we have. Maybe you want to cover this part, which is the carbon dioxide.
The CO2 sensor on the
So this one is 430 ppm. Carbon dioxide 430. Oh, this one I know. We talked about that part before. For the CO2, air quality is good.
Yes.
How does it go? Is it good or not good?
Inside already put some formula to
calculate.
to calculate whether it's good or moderate.
Okay, temperature and humidity is always there. Yeah, so this is today data coming from a LoRa gateway. Sometimes we didn't turn it on, just leave it there. Air pressure is not detected right now. Any other thing that temperature, humidity, what are they? What are other things right now here? CO2 CO2 is one of them.
And the bottom one is a temperature and humidity sensor. So this one is another device that only measuring the temperature and humidity.
Okay, these are all live data. Of course, we didn't put up all the sensor up there. This is how you can realize the actual, data collection, from our environment. So coming back to this ESG, so we don't need to show that one anymore. Coming back to this ESG, let's say, because right now we are working with some of the consultants in this area where we want to find out the actual thing. What are the framework, we be supposed to what are the data they are looking at, and reporting and so on. So if let's say you have anything similar requirement, do talk to us. We are able to do that. And very importantly, we have this back-end AI thing. Let's say you want to apply, especially not so much on environment, maybe on energy optimization. Maybe is one of the areas that you can also explore. So so for those of you who has just tuned in, we are talking about this Sembang AIoT. We talk technology to the industry, to the daily life. So today is just a very short one to you. Any more you want to share? Yeah. So very short one, actually coming back from this after Chinese New Year, still on the New Year mood. So very little thing that we can share. So I hope you enjoy, and happy weekend to you. And then we see you in the next coming session. But very importantly, let's say you find this channel relevant, please do help us to subscribe, share, and like. Yeah. So we'll see you there. Thank you.